Hello, this is Jer, and welcome to Cycle 200. In the last episode, I was capturing heat from the metal refinery, as well as the plastic production, the polymer press. I'm going to start off with this episode by optimizing the flow a little bit. I did add this area, actually, which helps a little bit with transportation, so dupes can go down here to get teleportation equipment instead of this crazy path like this. But it's time now to put in the tubes if we want to actually get dupes moving around quick. So let's get started. So now I have a transit tube axis. It's in a central place in my base, and I'm going to have it go up because the dupes travel slow when they go up a ladder. So, and don't have a lot for the dupes to do here at the moment, but that's going to change. I'm going to have a access up to space, and I've got big plans for this area in future episodes. So I think one of the biggest optimizations in my mind is simply having dupes be able to go up this way quicker. There is already a fire pole, so the downward direction is covered, and if we go up faster, that's going to make future projects much better. So while I have this tube going up, notice that the power in this one circuitry is a little bit stretched in many directions. So starting off by upgrading it to conductive wire, I'm going to join that with a conductive wire going up here so that we'll have options for space power once the dupes are here. Also digging out a spot here, this is going to be for the ammo suits, because the dupes are going to put those in before they go up into this zone. Just watching some of the first dupes use the transit tube to get to the top of this base a little bit quicker. Digging out a spot here for the ammo suits while the rest of the dupes start to upgrade this circuitry over here. So I now have my second conductive wire line going through my base. The other one is the conductive line that goes towards the oil biome. But this is going to do two things. First of all, it's going to give me more power options to go up in space here in a little bit. But it's also going to give this circuitry that's overloaded a bit of break. So let's put that online now. So I'm going to cut that here. So that's giving this line here a break. And we'll put in a new transformer. We've got that built. And that's going to be providing power for this new circuitry over here. Now we'll get the ammo suits put in. Now we've got our ammo suit docks and the ammo suits in here. I put in an oxygen line just from down here. And that's providing oxygen, so the dupes will be able to use that to explore up in space as well as go into this cold area if they want. I've got the tube going up like this, but I also built this new fire pole here because the dupes will actually use this one instead of having to go around this area. It's just optimizing their movements so we can do a lot of work up here very quickly. So I like to tap into this area, but it's very thick with polluted oxygen. So just have several oxidizers cleaning up, or deodorizers cleaning up, as this polluted oxygen makes its way down once one of the dupes tears into there. Access up to space isn't the only thing I'm optimizing. Got the dupes put in a plastic ladder in the core of their base. This is just going to allow them to go up in this area a little bit quicker. It has been installed a little warm, but the base does have a cooling system so that is going to cool down with the base relatively quick. So building in a liquid airlock right here, making that out of petroleum because I've got some different temperatures in the area. I've got some cold area, I've got some hot area up here. This will actually be the first time with the Doomsday asteroid really experimenting with this. So we've got an active meteorite hitting right now, so how about we not dig up and investigate how to do that in the middle of a meteorite shower. But I'll poke up over here, and I feel like we're going to want to use some bunker tiles once we get out in that zone. So there's a liquid airlock going in place. We'll just wait for the actual meteorites to clear before we go venture. I guess we don't need this guy anymore. So we've got our liquid airlock in place. Just gonna make sure that I don't need some drywalling, because I think that's gonna be needed once this guy is out. So the meteor shower is now gone. So I now have access to space. Now I have to decide how I want to do this. Thinking the idea is, let's give a bunker tile. Maybe we can kind of go down like this, such that I can get dupes up here to go left and right. But this ladder and entryway will be protected from meteorites in the future. Really like the new perspective in the telescope. It shows you where you put things that may not have the best visibility. So if I put the telescope right here, it's indicating that's going to be a good spot for it. Now this could take damage from meteorites, and my logic is this basically. I'm building this just after the last asteroid has hit, so I'm going to keep an eye out for asteroids. This isn't maybe not the best strategy, but that's what I'm going to go with. Is just destroy the building before the next round of meteorites are in. The other alternative is to build a bunker tile or door above this and kind of give it some shielding. I might do that ultimately, but for an early phase, I think this may be a good strategy just to get us started so that we can get into space. We'll look through the telescope and see what there is to see. Of course, this telescope is going to need some oxygen, some power, so we'll get that all connected up. So here is scientist opening the telescope for the very first time. They're going to peer out in space and see what is available. I have not really explored any of this neighborhood apart from the asteroid that you can teleport to, so we'll be able to at least see what's out there and begin that exploration. So back in the homeworld, now that I'm just starting to look out in space, I noticed my sandstone getting lower. I'm building out of that, but I suspect a lot of that is being chewed through these guys. So I'm having to rethink about my food source, because I don't want to be able to rely on hatches forever. So I'll go do that now. I was going to do a bit of decorating, but I think the food priority is going to cause me to pivot, which is very much common and oxygen not included. This is just one of those cases. Decided I want to grow some pepper bread. Currently using these guys here, sleet wheat, for growing burgers or frost burgers, but this area is getting a little bit warmer and I want to choose a bigger area, so figure down here might actually be a perfect fit for me. It's pretty cold and I could use this area to grow about 15 or so sleet wheat plants instead of the small section that I have up here. Starting to dig out this zone using the bisolite at the top to isolate or insulate from this warm area, because I want to take advantage of this cold area down here. Just doing a little bit of extra insulation in this zone. Building in some mechanized airlocks so that I can open and close these depending on whether I want cooling or not in a given time. Just making sure underneath these is either a granite tile like this or a tile that I fill in, because if it's ice or something like that, that could melt away and I could lose the potential vacuum nature that I'm going for later down the line. This is the first time I'm bringing a rover down that new area where they can enter the base. Oh, I just noticed I put them through a bisolite. But I'll be able to have that rover join the base easily, and I'll get some iron back from this guy. So this area might actually be a little too chilly, so how about we open up this vacuum area. I will just connect automation with the... Oh, automation, this wasn't connected first. Okay, we need to do that, but we also want to put a true signal here. Alright, a little bit of a repair needs to be done. This needs to go out. Oops. So now with that little repair, just going to flick this around. This is going to open the doors, creating a vacuum, which is essentially protecting the this place from getting too cold. I'll be able to control whether that's on or off, whether the liquid water that's going through here and feeding the sleet wheat needs to be chilled or not. Running some water in here now. Oh, I just realized I need a bridge, don't I, to make this actually kind of work. Put that bridge right here to direct the flow. So making this out of granite, I was a little bit nervous about the idea of making it out of radiant pipes, because I don't want the water to freeze. It's currently going down and down, so I think this is a good choice. We'll see how this pans out in the long run. First pieces of sleet wheat are planted in this new farm. Just having this check if the water is cold enough. If it's not cold enough, the doors are going to be shut like they are now. I think the only thing that's left is a little bit of automation. So the dupes have used the telescope to see as much as they can see. Not a lot of things of interest, no other planetoids. We're going to have to build a rocket with the telescope on it to be able to actually see any other planetoids, but that's going to be later on. So now we have some automation in place. Dupes put dirt here, and this auto sweeper sends the dirt over to these two units, and these two auto sweepers will actually load dirt. So that's a task the dupes don't have to do. And the other thing is, anytime these things, sleet wheat lands, these sweepers are going to put it in here, and then we're going to transport that all the way to our deep freezer. It's going to do a flash freezing, which may not necessarily be needed in the sleet wheat's case, but maybe because it was going to warm up on the way. But that's going to land right here and last forever until it's cooked. Just digging out this area here where pinch of pepper plant is going to be made. It's going to be a warm area. Figured I'll start there. It's also going to have this heating system in case it gets too cool for plants. See some slime lung in the air here. So let's remove any polluted oxygen so that doesn't become an issue. Dupes are making progress in here. And checking for slime lung, it is starting to dissipate. So that's good news. So I dug out a spot here, put in a pump. That is taking polluted water for these pinch of plants, which will start to be planted pretty soon. So here it is, pinch of pepper plant. That's going to be growing. Just need to put in a little bit of automation next. It's just a little concern that liquid's not going to get here because this pressure of the gas is keeping this liquid from getting in. So I'm just going to dig this up so that it has a place to go. And now we've got some automation, so putting the ingredients or what these guys need in terms of material into here, phosphorite, and the pepper plants, or the pepper nuts rather, get loaded in here when they're ready, shipped off to the deep freezer. So this episode, I was not expecting to be working on this until I noticed the sandstone has started to get a little bit lower. But now I've got this area to grow the ingredients for pepper bread. Oh, that's right too. A couple changes here. First of all, a little bit of mopping up because this area has been actually warming up. So trying to drop ice, polluted ice here, polluted water to get this this liquid out of there. Some of the plants aren't happy, but seems to only be the ones at the end. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. But one other change I had to make is I found it useful here to have radiant pipes along that for the temperature gauge. A last area I have, which is still, I was going to say it's still operational. I guess no, never mind. It is no longer operational because things have literally just warmed up as I came back here. But these, might as well dig these out if that's the case. But I prefer the idea of having a liquid outside temperature for running those doors, whereas this one I used the water in the pipe. But anyway, minor thing. What else did we do? We upgraded the base a little bit. We've got these plastic ladders. We've got these tubes. And we got this area that go out in space. This is the first time I'm out. And essentially the Doomsday meteorites. This telescope will be looking for meteorites. Hopefully remember to destroy it before that is done. But I think that's going to do for this episode. Plan to do some decorating. That did not happen. But pivoting and oxygen not included happens all the time when you realize things happen, like sandstone running out. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in a future episode. Thanks anyone for liking, subscribing. Till next time.